There are moments in life when time seems to fold upon itself, when numbers, symbols, and coincidences whisper the same message. Pay attention. Among those moments, few are as powerful as the appearance of 111. Jung believed that numbers are not mere quantities but living symbols, reflections of deeper patterns within the psyche. And on November 11th, the veil between the conscious and the unconscious grows thinner, allowing a rare alignment of inner and outer worlds. To Jung, the number 1 represented the origin, unity, and the divine spark within every human being. The repetition, 111, becomes a trinity of creation, mind, soul, and spirit acting in harmony. On this day, he would say, the world mirrors back to you what your inner state dares to express. It is not superstition, it is synchronicity in motion, the mysterious dialogue between the self and the universe. But with this opening comes a warning. The portal 111 is not for those who wish to control fate, but for those who are ready to awaken. To step through it consciously means to see one's own reflection without illusion, to understand that reality is molded not by chance, but by the alignment between your thoughts, emotions, and the collective field of meaning that surrounds us. The door stands open only for a moment, and those who recognize it, those who dare to enter with awareness, often discover that manifestation begins not outside, but within. The true ritual is not in the act itself, but in remembering that you are both the dreamer and the dream. Long before the modern age tried to explain everything with logic, ancient civilizations already understood the power of portals, not as physical gates, but as moments of deep alignment between the human spirit and the cosmos. These cultures knew that when certain patterns repeated, numbers, dates, or even dreams, they marked the rhythm of the soul resonating with something greater. Jung rediscovered this wisdom in his clinical practice when he began noticing how symbols and synchronicities emerged at turning points in people's lives. He once wrote that, "What you seek is seeking you," a truth reflected in his stories of those who unconsciously called forth their destiny. Among them, he described the case of a woman who spent 11 years waiting for a chance that never came, until she decided to perform her own symbolic act on November 11th. 11 days later, her long-awaited academic position was granted. Jung saw this not as magic, but as a rare alignment between her conscious intention and her collective unconscious, the deep ocean of archetypes shared by all humanity. This is the essence of the Portal 111. It does not obey the logic of demand or desire. It responds to alignment. You do not ask for something to happen. You become the kind of person through whom that reality can exist. The ritual is not about summoning, but about remembering your resonance with the greater field of meaning. When you cross this threshold, you realize that manifestation is not a command to the universe. It is a conversation, one where the universe answers only when the voice of your soul speaks the same language as your mind. To those who sense the pull of the Portal 111, Jung would say, "You are not performing magic, you are performing memory." The ritual itself is a map, designed to synchronize your conscious will with the vast intelligence of your unconscious. Every movement, every word, carries a psychological purpose. Begin by creating a sacred space, free from noise and distraction. Light a candle or keep a symbol that feels deeply personal to you. The intention is not to summon something external, but to awaken presence. Then take a sheet of paper and write by hand, not once but 11 times, the desire that echoes from the core of your being. As the pen moves, your mind and body enter coherence. The left and right hemispheres of the brain merge in creative dialogue. Once written, read your statement aloud, slowly and intentionally. Feel it resonate in your chest, as if the words were shaping the atmosphere around you. Fold the paper gently and place it under your pillow before sleeping. During the night, when the conscious mind rests, the unconscious begins its silent work, reorganizing images, emotions, and possibilities according to your symbolic command. When you awaken, spend a moment visualizing the outcome as if it already exists. Then, and this is essential, let it go. Do not cling, do not question. Obsession collapses synchronicity, trust allows it to unfold. This is the paradox at the heart of the ritual. To create, one must release. To manifest, one must surrender. The portal 111 is not about control. It is about harmony. When you stop forcing the universe to listen, you finally hear that it was whispering to you all along. When one begins to align with the unconscious, resistance soon appears. Jung called it the shadow, the hidden part of us that fears change, doubts worthiness, and clings to the familiar pain of the past. The moment you dare to create a new reality, this inner force awakens, whispering, "Who do you think you are to deserve this?" It is not your enemy. It is your guardian at the threshold, testing the authenticity of your transformation. The shadow holds everything you've repressed: fear, anger, guilt, shame, and if ignored, it will sabotage every attempt at growth. Jung observed this in countless patients. Just when life began to open, old patterns would reappear, disguised as coincidence or failure. One of his most striking examples was that of an inventor who spent 11 years failing to bring his idea to life. Each time success was near, self-doubt or external chaos destroyed his progress. Through analysis, Jung discovered that the man was unconsciously rebelling against the voice of a critical father he had never confronted. When he finally faced that buried wound, success followed not by chance but by integration. This is the secret many forget. Manifestation without shadow work is self-deception. To cross the portal 111 consciously, you must carry light and darkness together. You don't fight the shadow, you listen, understand, and invite it to walk beside you. Only when the rejected parts of you are seen can your energy become whole. The true alchemy of the ritual is not turning words into gold, but turning pain into awareness. And awareness, quiet, honest, luminous, is the only power that never betrays you. Once the shadow has been acknowledged and embraced, the path toward conscious creation begins to reveal its deeper structure. Jung described this process as a journey through 7 levels of manifestation, each one bringing the individual closer to alignment with the self, the divine center of the psyche. The first level is intention, the seed planted by a sincere desire. It must arise from the soul, not from fear or ego. The second is emotional clarity, where you clean the frequency of your wish by removing hidden guilt or contradiction. Then comes alignment with the personal unconscious, where memories, habits, and beliefs begin to adjust to the new image of yourself. The fourth level is archetypal activation, when a universal force, the creator, the healer, the lover, the seeker, awakens within you. At this point, synchronicities multiply. The fifth level is temporal synchronization. Life starts placing you in the right moments, the right encounters, almost effortlessly. Then arrives the sixth level, vibrational persistence. Here, your new reality is tested. You must remain in faith, even when appearances contradict your inner vision. Those who endure this phase discover that energy obeys consistency more than speed. Finally, the seventh level, embodiment of the self. The wish is no longer separate from you. You become the expression of what you once desired. At this height, the portal 111 is no longer an event, but a mirror of your awakened state. This is where manifestation transcends magic and becomes psychology, where destiny is not imposed from above, but born from within. And it is precisely at this summit where the final revelation begins, the awakening of the conscious creator. When the inner and outer worlds finally meet, a quiet realization dawns. You were never trying to manifest anything. You were remembering what you already are. Jung called this moment the awakening of the self, the union of opposites within the human soul. It is the point where the seeker and the sought become one, and the dance between fate and free will ends in harmony. The portal 111 is not merely a date or a number, it is a symbol of this awakening. It reminds us that creation does not begin with effort, but with awareness. When you write your intentions on that paper, you are not asking the universe for favors. You are witnessing the silent power of your own consciousness shaping form. The act becomes sacred because it reflects the eternal law, as within, so without. In Jung's vision, the true purpose of every ritual was transformation, not of the world but of perception. Those who pass through the portal with an open heart do not simply receive what they want, They become the channel through which the universe expresses itself. Their desires are no longer demands. They are invitations for life to expand through them. So, when the clock strikes 11:11, pause. Feel the stillness behind the number, the invisible current connecting your thoughts to eternity. Take a breath, write your truth and release it. Do not chase, as remember, because at that precise moment you are not a beggar before the divine. You are the divine remembering itself, the dreamer realizing that the dream was never separate from the dreamer.